What is up, everyone? So, if you're tuning into this YouTube video, this is my first ever YouTube video. Okay. Some people may know me as a TikTok creator, Instagram creator. You may know me for posting my fitness journey on Instagram. If not, my name is Ryder Jones. I am the owner and founder of Evoke Athletic Wear, and now I'm stepping into my true passion and purpose. And I believe my true passion and purpose is to help men get into the best shape of their lives and overall just improve their health. And today, I want to talk about habits and how to overcome really bad habits in your life. And I think the most important thing in your life, or one of the most important things in your life, are your habits. How are your habits? What are you doing every single day? How do you structure your life? What systems do you have? What do you believe in? Right? Those are all questions that you have to ask yourself, especially when you're going on a self-help journey, right? A lot of people wonder why. They feel horrible, but you'll ask them the question, do you vape every single day? Do you smoke weed every single day? Do you drink alcohol frequently? And are you eating fast food every single day? You ask somebody those questions, they'll say to you, oh, well, I mean, yeah, but, I like the way it makes me feel, or I don't think that's the reason. Stop it. Stop it. They always make the same old excuses like, I need weed, it helps me sleep, or it's not that bad for me, it's just food, or all the crazy excuses that people have in the book. And I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm going to be fully upfront and honest to you. I used to be one of those people, okay? I used to be a heavy weed smoker myself. I'll say it right now. Back in high school, and honestly, up until not that long ago, I was smoking weed every single day. Back in high school, I was vaping, I was smoking, I was drinking, I was all the above. And to be honest with you, I was doing all those things while building a physique and a body. But it held me back in so many ways. And in this video, I just want to discuss how these habits really held me back and why I think it's very, very important for you that you quit these things. Just quit them. Stop them. They're holding you back. Even if you think that these habits are truly helping you in some way, or you think that you're not affected by them, I promise you that you are. I promise. Okay? So, it is right now at 6:21 p.m. Monday, December 22nd, 2025. We're about to enter 2026, and it's just been an amazing year. And I really just want to get into why it's so important to really reframe your habits, especially going into the new year. And I'm going to talk to you about how all these habits just are horrible for you, and they're holding you back. Okay, so and I know this is going to be very uncomfortable for a lot of people hearing this. And you may be watching this video, and you may have smoked weed with me in the past or drank with me in the past, and if you still continue to do so, that's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just personally sharing my opinion on these substances and why I think that you should really quit them and stop them. So let's start off with smoking weed. Okay, so for me, quitting nicotine was really never a problem. Nicotine is nothing to me. Same thing with drinking. But for me, smoking weed was that one chemical, that one substance that I just craved and loved. Like, it just was everything to me. And what's crazy is every time I would have the urge in my head, like, oh man, I want to go smoke some weed, man. I want to go get high, man. I want to blaze up, man. Like, I want to get stoned. It felt good thinking about smoking weed and the effects after I thought were going to be so good. But what happens is every single time I smoked weed, every single time I decided to indulge in weed, the same patterns would always show up time and time and time again. I would smoke weed and be like, wow, why did I do that? Especially if I really smoked and I got really stoned. I would say to myself, like, why would I smoke weed? Why did I just do that? Right? And it's almost like you do it and then your brain just immediately forgets that you just smoked weed like a couple hours later. Your brain just forgets that you even smoked weed. It's absolutely insane how this stuff works and how these substances really affect your body, because I would just go smoke weed and then, I would get really stoned and, maybe an hour or two later, I'd feel fine and I'd feel good and I'd be like, oh man, I want to smoke weed again. I want to get even more high. That felt great. But in reality, it felt horrible. It felt horrible every time I toked up. Right after I toked up, I'd be like, man, this sucks, dude. Like, it felt good after a little while, but in the moment, I knew that I was doing something wrong. I knew that I was messing myself because I would get anxiety. I'd be like, oh man, like the world's, oh man, everyone's watching, I was that kind of person who, if I smoked too much weed, like, I'd feel some type of way and I feel out of body, or I feel just like really out of my mind state. I feel like that's just because I'm such a major thinker and I really think about a lot of things, but that's besides the point. But smoking weed definitely was one of those things that I needed to cut out of my life, like, instantly. Smoking weed, number one thing. All through high school, I smoked weed every single day. Every day. Every day. Wake up in the morning, hit the cart. For me, it was the carts. The carts were everything for me. Smoking in the morning, smoking in the afternoon, smoking at night. Like, it wasn't as much for me when it comes to marijuana, in my experience. It wasn't always, bud. I mean, I did smoke bud. I really did enjoy bud. But for me, it was those carts, man. Something about the high, especially those fake pesticidal carts gave you, was like the most rewarding system for dopamine ever in my brain. It was just me. I know other people have their own preferences, but for me, it was just the carts, man. They were so convenient, so easy to hide, especially like my mom, she hated that I smoked weed. So, it was so easy to hide from her, that I was smoking weed when I had these carts. And I'll just tell you, man, it's so destructive, especially for the young mind, the young brain. And I just found myself, thinking, oh yeah, I could smoke weed and then go to the gym, which I honestly, I definitely could. But when it came to doing anything else that required some brain power and some focus and some real thought, I couldn't do it. I would always tell myself, oh yeah, I could go sit down and do some work and smoke weed. I would end up not doing it. I'd end up getting on my phone, scrolling on reels, or just making some crap food, or just feeling terrible about myself, or just doing something really just low vibrational that it just never fulfilled me and made me feel good. And after a while, I just was like, this has got to stop, man. And I've tried multiple times to quit. I would stop for a couple of days, like, oh man, I got this, and I'd fall right back into the pattern, fall back into the pattern. But it wasn't until I developed systems in my own life and held myself to a certain standard that everything really changed for me. And honestly, everything that really changed for me was the fact that I just was like, I need to change my habits. I need to change the way that I structure my day. I need to do things that I really don't want to do in the moment, so it creates that it's easy for me to quit smoking weed, right? So the first thing that I started doing instantly right away is starting to wake up early in the morning. Every single day, I wake up early. 4:30 a.m. I try to be up every morning at 4:30 a.m. I try to be up before the sunrise, okay? And I always thought to myself, oh, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. Like, that's just not who I am. Bullshit. The only reason why you're not a morning person is because you say that you're not a morning person. The moment that you say to yourself, I'm a morning person and I'm going to force myself to get up early, you will get up early, okay? And I'll be honest with you, it fucking sucks getting up early. Okay, you're not gonna want to do it, especially if you smoke fucking weed all night and you're toking gas and doing all this bullshit and smoking vapes and shit. You're not gonna want to get up in the morning. Okay, I know how it feels. They say that weed doesn't give you a hangover. It definitely does. The day after you smoke a shit ton of weed, you wake up, your brain's all foggy. You're like you just feel like you're still sleeping, half asleep. I remember going into school, stoned out of my mind from last night, going into school, getting more stoned in the morning, and just feeling like crap, sleeping through the whole day, and just being unproductive and lazy, and it just wasn't, it wasn't solid for me. And another thing too is, to get off the weed subject for a minute, is alcohol. Okay, I know everybody loves drinking alcohol. It's the party drug. It's the main drug. It's like the most accepted drug in society is alcohol. People it's insane how our society works. You have to literally do everything, and it has to require alcohol. People have to get drunk for everything. And honestly, to this day, and even before my personal development journey, I really never understood why people have to drink alcohol for absolutely everything. I never understood that. Why can't you have fun without a drink? Why can't you go out somewhere without having a drink? Why do you have to do everything to have a drink? Why is alcohol always have to be involved in every single situation that you're involved in? Why? Why do you have to be involved with alcohol all the time? And me personally, I just think it's a society thing. I feel like society just pressures people. It's an endless cycle of people being pressured to drink, to drink, to drink, to drink, to drink. And I really think that's what it is. I think that people are just so pressured and feel so, pressured to drink just because they see their friends doing it. And then their friends are like, why are you not having a drink? Why are you not drinking? It happened to me so many times because I was never a major alcohol. As much as I was a weed smoker, I was never a major alcohol drinker. I have definitely indulged in a lot of alcohol, but when it came to smoking weed, it was a completely different story. But alcohol for me was still something I definitely did, but I just never understood why every single event, every single thing you do, you gotta drink alcohol. And it's like people don't even put effort into their day, and they just go drink. It's unbelievable. Then they wonder why their lives feel like crap, and they feel like shit the next day, and they don't want to get up and go do their workout or stay to their diet or stay to their goals or stay to their gym habits. They wonder why they feel so crappy, and it's because you're drinking alcohol every single day. Not every single day, but you're drinking alcohol consistently every single weekend. For some people, it is every single day. And if that's you really have real problems, but serious issues. You need to go see a specialist. But if you're drinking alcohol every single weekend, man, you really have to reevaluate and rethink your life because you're drinking alcohol and it's affecting your body in ways that you don't even understand. The thing about alcohol is, you can drink all when you're young, but people aren't looking at the long-term effects of their consistent drinking. They're not seeing what's happening to their body in the long run. In the long run, you're destroying your insides by drinking alcohol all the time. You're destroying your insides, and it's killing your productivity, man. It's not making you feel good. It's making you just feel like complete shit. You know what I mean? The complete fucking garbage. So that's the number one. Stop smoking weed. Stop drinking alcohol. Then we're going to go into nicotine because nicotine is the last one. Now, nicotine, let's just be honest. Nicotine is just so stupid. Everyone does it. Everyone's addicted to it. I think nicotine is literally just one of those things. It's like you're just addicted to it. And if you don't have enough willpower to quit nicotine, then you got a lot of work to do because nicotine is just one of those things where I was addicted to it, but it was really easy for me to quit because I'm like, what is this? What effect is this having? I'm just addicted. My brain, you're just addicted to smoking that thing all the time, and you just can't put it down. You can't focus. It's all about your dopamine. Your dopamine receptors are fried. Your brain is fried. Your brain is just like searching for the quickest hit of dopamine. So that's why you can't sit down and get anything done productive. That's why you can't sit down and create content, or that's why you can't sit down and think of some business ideas, or that's why you can't sit down and hold a conversation, because your dopamine receptors are so absolutely cooked. Like, you can't do anything. You can't read a book. Like, you're just living on autopilot without you even realize it. It's just all made to keep you trapped and to keep you dumbed down and to keep you farther away from the highest version of yourself, or that desired version that you want to be. And it's just destroying it, man. It's absolutely destroying you, man. It's destroying you. I really want you to think about your habits, and I really want you to think about, why are you doing these things? Why are you indulging in these substances, man? Really ask yourself that question. It's really important that you do, because you just gotta think to yourself, what is it in my brain that needs these substances? And honestly, the honest truth is, it's just because you're addicted. You're addicted, but you can stop. You can quit. There's a way out. Okay? And I'm going to tell you exactly how you get out. By changing your mindset. Okay? Your habits and your mindset. Okay? If you live in the mindset that you can't live without weed, you're addicted, and every time you feel a little urge, you gotta go hit your joint, go hit a car, go hit a vape. If you give into those urges every single time, then of course you're gonna be addicted. But if you can say no and change your mindset and change the identity of who you are as a man, as a person, whoever you are, it doesn't matter who you are, what gender you are. If you change who you are as a person, then you will change the identity of who you actually are, and you won't give into the urges. If you change your identity, you will change your habits. Okay? The moment I started associating myself with, I'm Ryder Jones, I'm a successful entrepreneur, I'm a man with a lot of money, a lot of influence. I'm a man that's going to inspire people. I'm a man who's not going to just give in to urges. I'm a man who's stoic, who's grounded. The moment I started identifying with the version that I want to be, I didn't want to do any of those things anymore. I didn't want to involve myself with those kind of substances and be involved with those just loser mentality. I didn't want to be involved with the loser mentality instantly, immediately. That's why I had to distance myself from so many people, because everyone just wants to get high, get drunk, smoke weed. Like, it's so hard to find people. It's not hard, but if you're in an area like me, I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia, for reference. If you're in that kind of area, you're going to run into a lot of people who are addicts from a young age. Started fresh out the gate. You start drinking when you're 13, you start smoking when you're 12, you start doing all these crazy things. By the time you're either a freshman in high school or in middle school, you start going ham on all these substances. If you're from any environment like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just the culture of normalcy among people, and it's just unreal. But the moment that you can say, well, you know what? This is not the world. This is not everyone. This is not the 1% of people. This is not who I want to surround myself with. This is not who I want to be, right? The moment that you can say, okay, this is not who I want to be, then you can say, then who do I want to be? Who do I want to be around? But you have to first change yourself, right? Because I always made these excuses, well, if I was around these people and that people, and if I was around this crowd, I wouldn't want to be compelled to do these. No, it starts with you, because the moment that you change who you are, you will naturally find these people. Okay, it may not happen overnight, but you will naturally find people who are aligned with you and your vision, and you will start being with these people. You will start hanging out with these kinds of people, or just connecting with these kinds of people and building these kinds of relationships. You won't be trapped in the environment that you're from, or whatever you want to say, if you allow yourself to be. The moment that you can say, okay, this is the environment I am, this is who I am, I need to change myself so I can get myself out of the environment. I need to change myself so I can get myself out of these situations. I need to become a new man so I can get out of these situations. I need to change my identity. There needs to be an identity shift. There needs to be a mindset shift. There needs to be something that changes inside of you that is like, I don't want to be around these people, you know? And it starts with the little habits, okay? It starts with the little habits. It starts off, first of all, quitting, okay? It starts off just quitting and dealing with the withdrawal symptoms for a while. Me personally, I don't have any of that shit. You know why? Because I know it's all bullshit. It's all fake. The moment I stop smoking weed, I feel instantly better just like that. Even if I want to, even if I have those urges in the back of my mind, you know, even if I have those urges in the back, like, oh, Ryder, why don't you go just hit the car? It won't be a big deal. Why don't you go hit the weed or whatever? Like, that's all there is. That's all it is. You know, the rest of it is lies, especially weed. Like, it's all lies. I know firsthand. You just gotta stop. And stop being a bitch. Put it down. Put it away. Throw it out. Whatever you gotta do. Just stop. Stop. You're the only person holding yourself back from stopping. Do you realize that, bro? It's you getting in your way. It's nobody else getting in your way besides you. There is nobody who can. You most likely live in a very nice place, very nice country, depending on who you are. But it doesn't matter because nobody is stopping you from quitting weed, okay, or quitting any of these stuff. It's you who's getting in your own way. And the moment that you can be like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm changing my mindset. Like, for real. Is the moment that you're gonna stop. You're not gonna give in to the urges, but you're allowing it. You're allowing it. That's it, man. It's you allowing it. It's nobody else. And to bring on the topic of, oh, well, I can still drink alcohol and I'm successful and I can still smoke weed and I get my stuff done, or you ain't 100% though. You ain't your fullest potential. Let's make that clear. If you're smoking weed, if you're drinking alcohol, if you're vaping, whatever, you're not operating at your fullest potential, okay? Especially weed. If you're smoking weed every day and you're getting high and stoned, you may be able to operate and function and do whatever you say you can do, but you're not doing it at its full potential. Why would you not? I want to operate at 100%. Me personally, I want to operate at 110% of my potential every single day. Okay, the moment I decide that I'm going to go smoke weed or something, or in the past, was the moment that I wasn't 100% involved in what I was doing. I wasn't 100% there. And as a man, as a human being, you want all of your brain. You don't want just part of it. You don't want a little bit of it. You want all of this capacity because you are very powerful whether you know it or not. You are extremely powerful. And I've always been a person who has struggled with, throughout my teenage years, chest acne, back acne, acne on my face, everywhere, you know? Like really inflamed acne. You know, like very bad all over my body. But the moment I start being healthy and taking care of myself, and yeah, I may have sensitive skin. I may have sensitive skin, but guess what? The moment I start taking care of myself, the moment that stuff starts clearing up, instantly starts clearing up. Instantly. I start glowing. My face starts looking better. I start being more aware and conscious of my own appearance and how I show up in the world. I start being more aware of who I am instead of just being on autopilot. That's what it does. You're just on autopilot. Stop. Because For me, the moment I decided I'm gonna go smoke weed and get high was the moment that I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna go eat some crap food, or I'm gonna go do this, or I'm just gonna go vape my nicotine, or I'm gonna go do this or drink alcohol. That's the moment I decided I'm gonna smoke weed and do it. Was the moment I'm gonna give in to another urge instantly, whether that was just smoking more weed. Once you fall into one urge, another urge is gonna follow instantly. Like the moment you the moment you give in to your urges is the moment that you just instantly are going to fall to another one. The moment you give it to your urge is the moment you're going to fall to another one. That's it. That's it. The moment you say, oh, it's okay, I'm only going to hit it once, or oh, that's okay, I'm only going to have one beer, or whatever, is the moment you're going to fall right back into another urge. That's it. It's the moment you're going to fall back into another bad habit and another terrible thing. You're going to fall back into it. You're going to do something else. You're just going to do something terrible to your body again. And the cycle just continues. Now you said you're going to smoke weed that one time. Now it's day 5. You've been smoking weed for the past 5 days, all day, every day. And slowly more you allow. Slowly more. And as I make more YouTube videos, which I'm so excited to continue to make content, and especially on here, I will start really going in depth about my experiences and all that stuff, because I really want people to know what I went through. And I know exactly what it's like to be a weed smoker and to be just a zombie all day, just to be a complete zombie. I know that feeling. I know how that feels. I trust me, I know that lifestyle. If anyone knows it, it's me. Okay? I know that lifestyle. You don't clean up after yourself either. You start smoking weed, you start not caring about your habits, you leave stuff around, your room's a mess, you don't make your bed. You're just lazy. It makes you lazy. It makes you complacent. Not in a good way at all. I'm not talking about looking at yourself, oh man, I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of the man that I'm becoming. I'm not talking about that kind of complacency. I'm talking about complacency meaning, oh, it's okay, like, whatever, I'm just going to lay down and do nothing. I'll just figure it out. No. If that's you, then you need to quit. You need to stop. Stop. Put it away. Okay? But the moment you change your habits is the moment that everything changes for you. And I promise you that it is very possible to change your habits. It starts with you. You. Okay? Nobody else. It starts with you. It starts with the systems that you have in place, the habits that you have, and the version of yourself that you identify with. If you identify yourself with the pothead, drinker version of yourself, then that's who you're going to be. But if you identify yourself as the winner, as the absolute beast of the human that you can be, if you start identifying with that mindset and really channel that mindset, I promise you're not going to want to touch it. You're not going to want to. Any urge you get, any of these little voices talking in the back of your head, you're not going to listen. You're not going to listen. You're not going to listen. You're literally not going to. It's just going to be like noise. You ever just hear background noise, or if you're walking, you hear people talk? That's what it's going to sound like to you. It's just background noise. And eventually it'll just go away. That version of yourself will be gone before you know it. But you have to first allow it to happen for you. Allow it. That's it. You have to allow it. But that is going to wrap up today's talk. But I really want to continuously make these videos. And this is definitely going to be many more. The first of many more to come after this. I'm so excited. So I'm going to post the link to this video on my Instagram. So if anyone from Instagram is watching this, shout out to you. I'm going to post the link. So if you want to watch it, feel free to watch it. But yeah, I'm going to go get ready, do my nightly routine. and relax for the rest of the night because I have another amazing, eventful day tomorrow. But yeah, again, just continue to do your thing. And I believe in you, and I believe that you can do it.